Hey guys, what's up? Brandon here, bringing you my first Battlefield 3 commentary. So obviously the beta was released earlier this past week, and funnily enough, I was leaving for vacation the day that the beta dropped for early access people, so I hardly got to play at all before I left. And while I was on vacation, I had to sit and read all the tweets from people who were giving feedback about the game. But then I got back yesterday and proceeded to play for most of the night last night. Unfortunately, though, I didn't get to try the Caspian border servers that a lot of people had been talking about. They were already all taken down by the time that I got home. So I'm a little bit disappointed I haven't gotten to try anything except Operation Metro, and I've heard from a lot of people that Caspian border is a much better experience. So pretty much this commentary is just going to focus on my impressions of Battlefield 3 thus far and my experience with it. And we'll start with Battlelog. Bottom line is that I still think it's a pretty bad experience. I had said in the alpha that I didn't care for it and that I thought EA not including an in-game server browser was a pretty big mistake, and I still stand by that because Battlelog has been just as frustrating in the beta as it was in the alpha. The first day of beta, I was trying to filter servers and I kept getting error messages. I know a lot of people were having trouble joining servers. I know that Dan, for instance, had to delete a hidden folder to clear out his origin settings just so he could join a server. I think stuff like that is inexcusable for something that's so fundamental to your game and that will turn off a customer before they even get to experience any gameplay. Now, to be fair, Battlelog does seem to be working a little bit better than it did the first day, and if there is any silver lining, it's that because it's all web-based, hopefully Battlelog changes and fixes will be able to be implemented without any update to the game client, so we should see quicker fixes than we would if it were an in-game server browser. And so I'm hoping that perhaps over time Battlelog will grow on me, but in the meantime it's not a very kind way to get introduced to Battlefield 3. Now let's move on to the actual gameplay. I think that the one place that Battlefield 3 really gets it right is with the guns. The models, the sounds, the recoil, everything. I think that Battlefield 3 has the most realistic gunplay of any first-person shooter in recent memory. And contributing to that are things like the addition of firing modes on certain guns, and I don't think that's something that we've seen in any recent first-person shooter. But it's details like that that help add to the sense of realism and the sense of immersion you get playing this game. And you'll even see in this gameplay, I start out using burst fire, but about halfway through the round I end up switching to single shot because it ends up being more effective for these long range shots because burst fire just has so much recoil. So whereas in the Call of Duty series the guns oftentimes feel laughably unrealistic, especially in terms of recoil, Battlefield 3 is the polar opposite. Getting kills is immensely satisfying because each gun has its own unique feel. And one of the main things I'm looking forward to when the game actually releases is getting those class unlocks and trying out all the new weapons. Now on top of the actual guns themselves, I think another intriguing addition to the way that Battlefield plays is the new mechanics regarding sight. And so we have new weapon attachments like the tactical flashlight that blinds your enemies at close quarters, or the red dot sight that can distort your enemy's vision, or like the glare on sniper scopes to where you can spot a sniper from far away. Now at first I was a bit skeptical of these new attachments and mechanics because I thought they might end up being a bit gimmicky, but the more and more I play I think that these will end up serving a useful purpose, and they create an interesting risk-reward trade-off. A player will be able to choose to put one of these onto his gun and possibly risk being seen easier from across the map, but he can take that chance to potentially blind his enemies and get off the first shot. So I like that we're going to have these kinds of options in the way that we spec out our soldier and decide to play the game. Instead of straight up gun-on-gun firefights that can get stale after a while, I think new dynamics like these could help to keep the game fun, fresh, and interesting for years to come. Or maybe they'll just end up becoming an annoying, unbalanced nightmare that we all come to hate vehemently. But who knows? I'm trying to be an optimist here. Now, let's move on to some of the flaws I've seen in the beta, and unfortunately there are a lot of them. I'm sure if you've played the beta, you know what I'm talking about already. I've personally encountered a laundry list of bugs, and to its credit, the beta is definitely more polished than the alpha was, but that's not saying much. And I know that the beta is not the final shipping product, and that, a lot of these bugs probably will get hammered out, but there are a lot of things that need fixing before I would consider this game to be ready for prime time. Now, I've seen a lot of these bugs, like, people have been going under the maps and glitching the maps. I think it's pretty safe to say those will probably be fixed in the final build. You can see a few times in this gameplay I try to revive someone with my defibrillator and it just doesn't work. So I hope that gets patched before release as well, but who knows, because there's a similar bug still lingering in Bad Company 2. But the worst bug I've encountered so far is in regard to the hit registration and the netcode. It's already happened to me several times in my short time playing that I've been killed a second or two after I've gone prone behind cover or gone around a corner, and I can deal with that in a beta, but if that's still the case in the final shipping product that people are paying $60 for, DICE and EA are going to have a lot of angry customers on their hands. So overall, I'm still really looking forward to Battlefield 3 and I'm excited for it, but I have a lot of concerns based on what I've seen in the beta, and realistically there's only so much that can be fixed before the game launches. Add on top of that most of us have only gotten to play one map that didn't even involve vehicles, and vehicles are obviously a huge part of the Battlefield experience. So I'm still trying to be cautiously optimistic, but if you've played the Battlefield beta, has it made you more excited, less excited? Have you canceled your pre-order already? I'm really curious to hear what you guys think so far. Anyway, this gameplay is just about finished. We hold the offense to the first point because Operation Metro is pretty much just a one-sided party for the defense. But if you enjoyed the video, I'd appreciate it if you'd hit that like button, and if you enjoy this kind of stuff, you can subscribe to my channel for more. Also, you can follow me on Twitter. The link is below in the details section. As always, guys, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.